In this video, we are going to talk about Magha Nakshatra, Padas, symbol and more. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And if you want to learn Vedic Astrology step by step, join me on 33 days Vedic Astrology Bootcamp. Link is in the description. See you on the other side. Magha Nakshatra. Magha Nakshatra is Dasha ruled by Ketu. As in, when you have moon placed into the Magha Nakshatra, it shows your Dasha sequence will start with Ketu. Okay, now let's talk about the range of the Magha Nakshatra. Magha Nakshatra ranges from 0 degrees 0 minutes of the Leo sign to the 13 degrees 20 minutes of the Leo sign. It's completely into this 13 degrees 20 minutes of the first 13 degrees 20 minutes of Leo. Now, let's talk about the symbolism associated with this nakshatra. The symbol associated with the Magha Nakshatra is that of the throne. And when we think of throne, we think about the royal things. We think about the honor. We think about the status, glory, recognition, prestige. All these things, all the 10th house things you will see, you will experience about this throne. Okay. Now, let's talk about the deity associated with this nakshatra. Deity associated with this nakshatra is Pitris. Oh, we have a whole lot to talk about. Pitris literally means our ancestors. And these are the ancestors, like our whole existence is the gift of our ancestors. Because of our ancestors, our grandparents, parents, and now we exist on this planet. Okay, so in Hindu culture, in Vedic culture, there is one ritual called Shraddha. Shraddha is the ritual to worship the ancestors, and there is one specific 15 days dedicated called Pitru Paksha during the month of Bhadrapad. Okay, Paksha literally means 15 days. Pitru is Pitri, ancestors. Those are the 15 days. And on each tithi, they will worship their ancestors. And there are many rituals associated with the Shraddha. So the purpose of the Shraddha is to be grateful about the ancestors and be grateful and worship them. That's the Shraddha. But Pitris are the deities of the Magha Nakshatra. So the ancestors gives Magha Nakshatra people gift. They give them the knowledge. They give them the skills. They give them all sorts of inherent skills. We call he has inherent skill. What is this inherent skill? Like even from the early age, you have a skill of singing, or you're good at something. What is all this? These are the gifts in your DNA. These are the gifts from your ancestors. Okay, so the Pitris are very important and are the deities of this Magha Nakshatra. Ancestors also represent the past and also represent certain kinds of gifts and certain kinds of knowledge and secret knowledge with them, and which is passed on to the next generation. So whenever we think about the ancestors, think about it as a past. So Magha Nakshatra people is all about the past life karmas. So you will often hear that Magha Nakshatra is all about the ancestors or the past life karma. What is past life karma? Okay, it is connected with your ancestors, your lineage. Pitris are connected with the Pitruloka. There is a different loka for the Pitris. Okay, so when a person passes on to the other world, he waits there in the Pitruloka before he goes on to some other loka or takes birth back into this loka. Okay, so that's the Pitruloka. And during certain period of time, okay, and during the Pitru Paksha, the Pitruloka is said to be closest to the earth. Okay, and that's why in Hindu culture, Vedic culture, they tend to worship the ancestors. Okay, And those who are watching, if you have Magha Nakshatra, you have to be grateful about your deity, about your ancestors. Let's talk about the nature of the Magha Nakshatra. Magha Nakshatra is ruled by Ketu, and we oftentimes look at Ketu as a spiritual planet. Of course, he's a spiritual planet, but more than that, Ketu is a planet which is about the energy and self-reliance. It is the intense and fierce energy like Mars and Sun, which is internalized, and that's why there is a spiritual awakening. There is nothing except the energy. Spiritual awakening is the internalizing the energy for looking inside. Okay, so Magha Nakshatra person always has to use his past to create his own future. Okay, you will oftentimes see these people connected with the ancient knowledge like astrology. You will see a lot of people with the Magha Nakshatra, prominent Magha Nakshatra, will be drawn towards astrology. And maybe somebody from their lineage, maybe their father, grandfather, uncle, somebody would have dedicated their life to astrology. And that's the reason, without even they knowing about it, they will drawn towards these sciences like astrology, tarot, and all kinds of things which helps you to understand the unknown. And maybe somebody from their lineage, somebody from their family have dedicated their life to their science like astrology. Maybe their uncle, maybe their father, grandfather have given their entire lifetime to this science, to this astrology. And then without they even knowing, they get drawn towards these things. If you have prominent Magha Nakshatra in your chart, okay, so don't just think that Ketu is the planet of spirituality. Ketu, let's say if you have Ketu placed into the sign of Leo, you guys will have the best self-realization. You will be confident. Why you will be confident? Because see, Ketu is the planet which is all about the things we have mastered. Now it is into the Leo sign, which is the sign of self, the sun. And now you have mastered the self. And once you master the self, you are confident about things you can do or things you cannot do. You will be comfortable even in your shortcomings, right? That's the confidence. Confidence is not about knowing everything and be able to do everything. It's about being comfortable with who you are, and that's what Ketu in the sign of Leo does. That's the power of Magha Nakshatra. That's Leo sign, and that's Ketu. So Ketu, don't think about Ketu just as a spiritual planet or a planet which separates things. It's the powerhouse. It's the internalized energy force. Okay, think about it like this. So one of the name of the Ketu is Dhwaja. Okay, Dhwaja means flag. When we achieve something, when we conquer something, we put a flag. Okay, so Ketu is about energy. And now when you have Magha Nakshatra, which is ruled by Ketu, it's energetic nakshatra, it's active nakshatra, it's all about karma. You know, don't think that it's connected with Pitri, so he will rely upon ancestors for all kinds of things. No, he will be guided by his inner voice. He will be guided by the ancestors. And with that guidance, he will keep on working for the glory, for the recognition, for making difference in other people's life, to be useful to the society. You know, all the 10,000 things you can relate to the Magha Nakshatra. So these are the people you will always see giving priority to their work. These are the workaholics. These are the people who will make difference in the society. Okay, Magha Nakshatra is extremely powerful and material oriented nakshatra. You won't believe that. Though it is ruled by Ketu, Trust me, this is the materially oriented nakshatra. Another thing about these people is these people have to connect with their inner voice. They have to connect and develop their spiritual energy in order to get the guidance in life. They will get the guidance once they seek the guidance inside. If they keep seeking inside, if they keep seeking guidance from within, they will be well guided on their path of glory, greatness, recognition, and prestige, fame, karma. Welcome to Magha Nakshatra, extremely powerful nakshatra. Let's talk about the padas associated with this nakshatra. The first pada of the Magha Nakshatra ranges from 0 degrees 0 minutes to the 30, not 13, that's the range, but 3 degrees 20 minutes and goes into the Aries Navamsha. Okay, now this is the first Rashi and the first Nava. Now, in a way, this is the beginning of a new cycle. You will see that all the padas are coming in a sequence. Like the first pada of the Magha Nakshatra is from Aries. Now, Aries, Taurus, it will continue till Pisces, and then it will again be the start of Aries. Okay, now the sign is Leo and pada is Aries. Mars will do excellent job here. Okay, Mars into the first few padas of the Magha Nakshatra, excellent, amazing, but they have to control their desires. Like it's already controlled by Ketu, and now you have Mars placed in there. Person with the Mars into the first pada will have extremely desirous nature, and he's ready to work for it. Now, Aries is the sign which is about the individual things, about the self-reliance, about knowing yourself. Okay, now Mars comes in, it gives energy to this pada. Excellent. Okay, Sun into this pada gets exalted. It's into its own sign, goes into its exaltation. Excellent. If you have Sun Mars conjunction into the Leo, into the first few degrees, into this pada, Aries pada, excellent. You will experience all the positive, material, and action oriented nature of the Magha Nakshatra in these natives. Okay, but with Mars, they have to be careful with their desirous nature. Okay, now another thing about this pada is until the first 48 minutes or 50 minutes, it's the Gandanta point. We talked about the Gandanta point in the previous video when we talked about the Ashlesha Nakshatra. Those who have watched that, you can also go and watch my Gandanta video. But those who are not aware of what Gandanta is the transformation point from the water sign to the fiery sign. From Cancer to Leo, from Scorpio to Sagittarius, from the last few degrees of the Pisces to the last few degrees of the Aries. Okay, so this transformation of the water into fire brings in the transformation. Okay, and this is the point where you will experience the challenges as well, because there is no awakening, there is no spiritual progress without the challenges. Let us talk about the second pada of Magha Nakshatra. Second pada ranges from 3 degrees 20 minutes to 6 degrees 40 minutes and goes into the Taurus Navamsha. Now just understand the flow of energy, understand the process of the evolution. Like it's into the Gandanta, into Ashlesha, into the fourth pada, going into the first pada of Gandanta, then moving out of it and stabilizing into this second pada of Taurus. Okay, so after the Gandanta, all the transformation, now here is the time to stabilize. It's the time to get into the fixed sign of Taurus. Okay, so in this pada, all the planets will stabilize their energy. Okay, next is the Gemini sign. So the third pada of the Magha Nakshatra ranges from 6 degrees 40 minutes to the 10th degree of Gemini. 10th degree and goes into the Gemini Navamsha. Okay, so it's like the planet is in Leo sign and goes into the Gemini sign in D9. Okay, so what happens with this is, now after the stabilized energy, fixed the energy of the Taurus, now it's the lighter Gemini energy. It's about the intellect, it's about interaction with the people. And remember, this is the sign, this is the nakshatra of the kings. Okay, so it's like communicating with the worthy people, it's like communicating and understanding and getting knowledge from the worthy people. So Mercurian qualities can be seen in this pada. Let's say you have Jupiter placed into this pada, okay, or Mercury placed into this pada. Excellent. Let's talk about the fourth pada of the Magha Nakshatra, which ranges from the 10th degree of the Leo to the 13 degrees 20 minutes of the Leo. Here Mars gets debilitated, Jupiter gets exalted, Moon is in its own sign. Okay, so this fourth pada is about nurturing and love. Okay, so we talked about the love for the ancestors, love for all kinds of rituals. You will see all these qualities, that deep connection with the ancestors in this pada. Why? Because it is the Cancer, the sign of emotion, and it is connected with the fourth house of your horoscope as well, which is about your roots. And your ancestors are your roots, your origin. Okay, this sound is irritating, but we are not going to stop. Okay, we will keep doing, we will keep working every single day. We are talking about Magha Nakshatra, fourth pada, Cancer Namamsha. So yes, this was Magha Nakshatra, as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you want to know more about Vedic astrology, these two videos on your screen will help you to deep dive into Vedic astrology, or you can join me on 33 days Vedic astrology bootcamp. If you have any question, comment down below. I read all the comments and I reply to almost all the comments. If you still have any question, reach out to me on Instagram, and see you in the next video. Love and peace. Namaste.